Thank you so much, Golios. Fans come out in droves. Leo, I mean, you followed every single one of these talents coming in from RRQ to know exactly how this team works, especially being Soul Kingdom.
Not a single one of them follow me back on Instagram. But here's the thing. They're off to a great start. They have forced Liquid ID to choose Harith, a very low win rate hero on Aaron Shiki. So this must be their put out or get out strategy is, all right, we've tried everything. Nothing has stuck except for that Kalia starter. Let's do this. RRQ answered back by stealing away from Yan Suyo.
It's gonna get harder though. The one pick that I'm looking for is in that mid lane, that Zhu Xin. If we're talking about getting out, this is the hero that will literally pick you up and throw you out.
There's so many outs in the previous 5
It's not
minutes,
happening!
I gotta say, man.
It's not happening. There's no room for the Zhu Xin. RRQ stole it.
Oh, actually, Liquid's right beside. Okay, Aaron Shiki low win rate, sure, but but the Phovias though, the Phovia kind of counters everything that Liquid ID has right now. I don't know about this. Actually, RRQ Hoshi, I feel like they're having the better opener here.
I suppose, but this is under the assumption that the early game, it doesn't go in Team Liquid ID's favor, right? If we find that initial snowball coming in from Fabian on that Joy, things could look very different. Speaking of which, the second phase now begins. We're thinking of bans here. Where's our head at?
Actually, now I'm thinking of picks because, again, going back to game number 1, you guys were talking about it, how everyone else really doesn't need items, so everything goes on to Fabian. So I'm also trying to think, besides Jushin, what other mid laner that really doesn't need items? And I'm kind of drawing a blank.
Yeah, like a low to the ground mid laner.
Yeah.
Aurora is the other one.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But actually,
Vixana needs to scale.
yeah, the only thing about an Aurora that I'm worried about is just that will they have enough damage to make it so that RRQ Hoshi does not invade inside of the jungle? Because that's also another thing that Suyo can do.
Yeah, the Eve that RRQ Hoshi banned is the other hero. That is a high-level performer, even with very little items, and wins in team fights more than I think the Aurora. But yeah, that's RRQ Hoshi closed the door on that.
I think we're also looking for mid laners that have high base damages as well as the means to compensate if they want to capitalize on these picks. But TLID making sure that Edok doesn't get his hands on another engager. We might not see that double engage coming out from the side of RRQ, but we might see it coming in from TLID.
You know, looking at the ban TLID, very good ban on that Tigreal, because again, I kind of feel like having Jushin is already a big problem. Having another form of CC is just going to be obnoxious. Arkyoshi batting out the Sicilian. Okay, respecting that, to be fair.
That's the what if from earlier.
Yeah.
Then what's the follow-up coming in from TLID?
It's the other 100% win rate hero for Edok.
Full respect onto Edok here. I'm looking at Cho now as an option if they still want to go for that kind of pickoff strat.
Oh, actually, if we're talking about low to the ground, Selena hasn't been touched in any of these games itself, right? What's the disgust for?
Can't use Selena?
Yeah. Like 0% win rate?
Yeah. Oh, really?
Even from MPLID?
No, that's
He did try his best then. He was forcing it. That's a term. He was forcing it.
He was forcing it. But RRQ, on that second phase, first pick, they decide to go with the Jawhead this time around to kind of find that disruption. Yeah, very extremely fast. But TLID, I think knowing that Jushin might just be by herself, if there was a time to force that Selena, now seems pretty good.
Hey, put up or shut up, right?
Put up or shut up. They've got to do something.
Put out or get out.
Yeah, the English is difficult, man.
We're trying.
After this, I'm going to go full Japanese.
I got Portuguese.
All right, there you go. We have options.
Look, I got one language, guys. I don't have much to work with here. Not at all.
There's the Aurora.
That's the Aurora.
All right, so Aurora is going to be a little bit more reliable. Even if you do end up dying, you still have that secondary life, that passive, to be able to kind of bring you back into that fight. However, the glue is going to be the follow-up pick afterwards. So now, if we're talking about just like matchup to matchup, even in the EXP lane, it's looking pretty good for around for the time being, but the Jushin could prove deadly in these team fights.
In this game, honestly, like they have a draft that they can get Fabian ahead, and Fabian needs to get ahead, because if he doesn't, I feel like he's gonna get interrupted so many times by the Phovias as well as the Jawhead that will make their entire lineup crumble. So I feel like the moment we see the early game not going towards TLID, it's not going to be looking good. We might finish the series with another 3-1, which has been happening since the very first game.
And that's why the faith is being put in both Fabian as well as Aaron Shiki, right? If one doesn't come through, the other has to. There's no choice. This is it. Match point for the Kingdom. RRQ Hoshi on the red side up against TLID, looking to equalize on the blue side. It's Eterna as well as Leo to take you through game number 4.
Thank you, Gideon. Thank you, Lafel. We'll catch up with you later after this game because this will be the deciding game for both of these teams. Tournament lives are now at stake for the former MPLID Season of 14 champions, runner-ups to M6. And right now it looks like the kingdom that they have built for themselves is now at jeopardy for the real kingdom, for the real Kings of Kings to finally make their mark.
The Sangha Raja are 1 game away from the grand finals. It's been a hot minute since we last saw them at the peak of an international event, and here in this game, they could secure just that.
I love how Lafel put it, right? TLID need to find a way to grasp over this early game because RRQ Hoshi, with the composition that they have right now, has so much to say, right? This is the classic Suyo jawhead composition in the early game that is going to be as impressive as this. Hopefully Aurora, Anya Heskill, will be able to become that stopper that is required.
If anything, just to put it into context, ladies and gentlemen, I think this is the most aggro lineup that RRQ Hoshi has ever drafted. They are pushing forward under minute 0. You see how much they went into Fabian's jungle there? And now, Sutsujin just taking over his jungle first, and then you have there's so many ways you can ragdoll the members of Team Liquid ID.
And even in terms of like emblem choices, already very aggro too, right? Sutsujin on the killing spree this time around. Not the same way or method that Fabian was earlier on the Suyo, and as well as Rins. Very, very aggressive, wants to go into the front line. You can see it with the choice of his emblem as well, the Brave Smite. And look at this rotation now coming through from RRQ, but Aran is still able to get out.
You see that finesse movement? Just force in the flicker from Aran via smart missile just walking up. Now a 4-man gank squad from RRQ Hoshi threatening the otherwise from Liquid ID.
Oh.
The flicker and the ejector! They collapse onto Witty. They find him. Crimson Flare down underneath. First blood drawn by the Kingdom.
1-0 now, ladies and gentlemen. This is the early game pressure. This is the early game prowess that we were talking about for RRQ. And it should be a turtle given over to RRQ as well. Neutral objective already secured. No fight whatsoever from Fabian. He just needs to catch up in items.
Aran here, forcing split defensively, returning back to his lane, a reset. RRQ Hoshi, either way, the game is to their tempo now. We mentioned how the Aurora might be lacking damage. We mentioned how that mid lane might not have as much priority. Folks, that's what you're seeing now. Like, Team Liquid can't even stand in their own mid.
No, Rin says no to that. Witty almost got out earlier, and then, you know, Rins comes in and he's like, yeah, no, maybe not today, pulls him back in, and the finisher coming in from Dyron on the Phoveus.
Top lane might be a different story. What's Shiki like right now, level 4? All right, he's okay with the EXP, but oh, just as we peek in, Toy just giving him a piece of his mind there.
What is he, half health now? Very dangerous now for Aaron Shiki. They are level in terms of gold, and it's not that far behind, but even looking at the pressure and the fact that Toy still has that second skill to utilize, it's not going to be as easy for Aaron Shiki in that particular lane.
So far, the game has stalled to a point of the next turtle. Nobody willing to commit battle spells to try and get kills here. They're waiting for their cores to scale. And the jump in coming in from Witty, looking to take down Dyron. The rest of the Kingdom crashing through from seemingly out of nowhere. Crimson Flare coming through, 4 Rins in the grab onto Dyron. Aran regrets that. The Crimson Flare pulls him back. Aran gonna get taken out here. Off camera though, Toy catches Aaron Shiki with an SOD. That was a close call.
But that's just how beautiful back into, you know, the bottom lane RRQ Hoshi and their synergy is, right? The entire collapse after the initial pickoff coming in from Witty, it was beautiful. TLID knows that Fabian is falling behind in terms of EXP, so they couldn't go for the neutral objective 50-50, considering, oh, wait a second.
Dear God, Fabian pulls the trigger, but backs off, and oh, finally, Yehezkiel finishes the job, and oh, what's this?
No
Edok
way.
looking for one. The ejector in place. Smart missiles, not enough in the tank for the Jawhead alone to finish the job. In comes Dire and Zaman Force, committed here by Aaron Shiki. Down he goes, Rins gets the kill, another falls, Witty gets taken out. So does Dire, though it's a trade, 2-for-1.
2-for-1 trade, but again, we were just discussing how RRQ made it work in the bottom lane, and they found yet another opportunity in the top lane as well. It was great for TLID that they were able to take down Toy before he goes in for the snowball, especially on a pick like the Moskov, but the fact that they were able to trade it back for Aaron Shiki, not as great of a trade for TLID at the end of the day.
Yep, these are what they call lost leaders. They're giving up early game advantages so that in the late game, they clap back. And it's not even really the late game RRQ is waiting for. It's the mid game. They push down bottom. They're slowly clamping down on the rest of the map. And they have a, what, 2,200 gold lead? This is huge.
Yeah, it is. It is. In the early portion of the game, it definitely is something that they can work around against TLID right now. We do see yet another rotation coming through. This time, Weedy a little bit more focused onto Aaron Shiki, trying to figure out a way to make Aaron Shiki the saving grace for the team, because technically Fabian is also not there just yet. Only one item so far, Starlim Scythe. I'm wondering if they're looking to go for yet another Holy Crystal second item, but this time they are on the back foot.
Yeah, the last time they did that, they were completely running over RRQ. Here, I think Fabian has to keep it low to the ground, buy the items that they need, not the items that they want. Oh, Aaron Shiki caught out 4 members, make that just 3. Ito wasn't even part of the engagement. He rotated with RRQ, but they found their man.
Aaron Shiki was there for so long. What were they expecting? RRQ Hoshi, they're just continuously looking for these opportunities, are continuously rotating, and Aaron Shiki gets caught out for the second time in this game.
They touched him.
They touched
He was supposed to be untouchable.
I mean, a lot of people have touched him, to be honest.
All throughout, yeah, starting
Yeah.
with Kelra, showing everyone, hey, he's not so untouchable. And now the final turtle goes over to the kingdom. His lane also gets destroyed. The map is shrinking for Aaron specifically.
He can't work in the bottom lane because that's already taken down, and now he can't go into the top lane as well. He needs to look for gold elsewhere, and Sutujin makes it a little bit more difficult as they will be able to get this second-tier turret from TLID.
Eternally, you know what makes us the worst?
What?
Widdy isn't even really a babysitting roamer. Like, it would be a waste to give him that responsibility. And look what he has to do now. He has to go and tend to Aaron Shiki. And there's 3 members. Rins goes for the Crimson Beacon. Aaron Shiki drops the Zaman Force, but it might be too little too late. They're able to take him down, put that white-haired little boy to a nap. And Aran flickering out. Oh, Liquid ID, they're scrambling. They're like lost stallions over in the open meadows.
Is this game?
I mean, it seems like it.
LaFell mentioned the early game having to be favoring TLID, and 4,000 gold lead for RRQ now. Aaron Shiki getting caught out 3 times.
At 8 minutes, and Toy just, making easy work of these turrets.
He has the golden staff now, Toy. He's just 1 item away from that
Trinity.
DHS.
Yeah. There's 1 more from the Trinity.
That Trinity is going to be a huge power spike for him, and I don't know if TLID will be ready for it. It's only been 8 minutes. I think he can get it
Before 10.
pre-10, yeah.
Again, they enforce another flicker from Yehezkiel this time. Aran in the crosshairs of RRQ. Sutujin committing Grand Theft Orange. At least Fabian is getting his purple, unless he didn't. He's just really running through his own side of the map. Look at the items here.
He is, I think, going for Holy Crystal, right? Fabian?
Yep, he is.
Starlium Scythe.
I don't know if that's financially responsible right now.
But I guess that's the thing that they have to do, right? Make a big leap or go home. Go big or go home. That's the term. Go big or go home. Holy Crystal in. They need the damage coming through, because where is the damage going to be coming from in these particular team fights if they're looking for that big play that can turn this entire situation around?
Yep. But Team Liquid ID have to understand that they are outgunned right now. 5,000 gold, that's definitely something you will see in fights. Like, why are they not dying? How come Diren is so hard to take down? Why is Edok still deathless? That is what's answering this question of what is 5,000 gold to RRQ. And they make quick work of that Lord. Nothing Team Liquid ID can say to that. And the lead is growing. Oh my God, 6,000 now, Eterna.
It is growing, and it is growing bigger by the second. The fact that they have so much control over all 3 lanes at this point. Technically, they don't have the best of clear from RRQ, right? They have the Jushin, a little bit of range to work with, but as compared to someone like Yehezkiel, Yehezkiel look for a big ult against RRQ
Yeah.
Hoshi. Is that what they're waiting for?
That's something that Liquid ID can hold on to hope for. They have better wave management. If anything, RRQ should be thankful that they're actually winning, that they are so way ahead that they don't have to deal with a high ground defense, because you're right, you pointed it out. They would hate it if they were on the back foot here, but luckily they're not. They're actually knocking on Team Liquid ID's doors, and the Cavalry do not want to open up. Like, if this happens, if they get into the base, if they crack out 2 inhibitors, all the more, best believe, Shiki's gonna suffer even more.
And they were able to break the shield on the Lord before the Lord came. Huge movements coming from RRQ as they look for that inhibitor turret. It's definitely going to fall. There's no way they can defend.
They're in the base. Lord still standing at about half health. Edok here with the conceal, looking for a target. The jump in from Witty. The Tsunami Slam. The Zaman Force spended by Shiki. Down goes Edok. Crimson Beacon already used up by Rins. Backing off. And they do take down that inhibitor in mid. The last one standing down bottom.
It's definitely still worth it for RRQ Hoshi in the long run, right? They lose Edok for the price of 2 inhibitor turrets, and one of which is on the opposite side of the next spawning Lord. So yet another advantage that RRQ Hoshi can play with. But if we're looking at the glass half full, TLID are still able to delay and prolong their lives, because once again, what's at stake right now? Match point in for RRQ Hoshi. 1 game away of saying goodbye to a Snapdragon Pro Series altogether.
Witty with a stationary CC there, but Dyron ain't having any of it. Neither are the rest of the kingdom. They take him down. Dyron gets the kill. SOD, no one home. Zaman Force here committed by Shiki already. Aran falls. They're still in the base. The winner crowned by Dyron. By in time, Yehezkiel falls. It's just Fabian and Shiki left to defend. RRQ Hoshi at the cusp of eliminating Team Liquid ID. They're going straight to the grand finals.
The grand final, the